Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. I hope you enjoyed your lunch. I hope you made some meaningful connections and had some great conversations as well. We're now ready to kick off our next part of the event. I'll just quickly take you through what to expect this afternoon. We have a presentation which will be fast up. Which will be on unleashing access to finance by leveraging credit guarantees. That will be a presentation. Thereafter, we'll watch a video on investing in women. And right after that, we'll have a panel conversation on breaking barriers, igniting success. And that will be around investing in women for economic empowerment. For now, I would like to invite up on stage Joseph Kiari Mburu, who will be taking us through the first presentation. Joseph is a Principal ICT Officer at Kenya National Treasury. He oversees monitoring, evaluation, and ICT for the Kenya Credit Guarantee Scheme portfolio. With a background in physics and an MA in ICT policy and management, he brings valuable expertise. Joseph's visionary leadership promotes financial inclusion and supports SMEs by leveraging technology for socio-economic development in Kenya. Let's put our hands together for Joseph Mburu.
Wow. Thank you so much, and pleasure to be here, join this great team. Looking forward. I just followed the conversations that were going on, and I was inspired by the passion from the panelists. I think we have great stories in this country. We just need to amplify them. Yeah. So I have a team from National Treasury. Probably they could just wave as well. Yeah, so all protocols observed. You know that's very important for government. Here representing our scheme manager and also on behalf of the National Treasury so that we can share also part of our success story with our partner, Kim. There's a lot that we have done together, as you will be seeing in the presentation. And there's much more coming in this presentation. You know, we are told the current innovation, the real innovation now is about collaboration. And those who master the art of collaboration, then they are able to scale higher because they have mastered that art of collaboration. And I think for us as National Treasury, that is very, very important because we have many key players that needs to work together so that we can be able to help our MSMEs to be able to perform well. I like what was captured in the program. Just allow me to cite what was captured in the program. Discover the game-changing results achieved through Kim's support in leveraging credit guarantees as powerful business enablers. That's really powerful. And that is the story we're going to tell today on what we have done with Kim. If I would use the example of a three-legged stool, probably one will be, in the conversation we're going to have shortly, one will be the government, the other leg will be the PFIs, and the other leg, very important, is our partners. And the partner, one of the partners we are talking about here today is Kim through USAID. On 8th December 2020, the government launched a product known as CGS. Yeah, and the product was a response to what was happening in this country at that particular time. You can remember the COVID scenario. And we needed to cushion MSMEs so that they could continue with their businesses. So the government launched this product to help MSMEs overcome the challenges they were experiencing. We have already talked about some of those challenges, including limited access to capital. We have poor business model, lack of sufficient collateral, lack of short repayment periods, and also very important, they are considered to be risky. So we have to tread with them very cautiously. And that is where now the government comes in. I'll take you through this presentation, the lessons that we have learned working together with Kim USAID, in implementing this credit guarantee scheme in Kenya, and I'm doing this on behalf of the scheme manager, Mr. Ronald Inyangala. So this is our outline, just take you through the current design. Our performance as per May 31st, every month we receive reports from our PFIs, the banks that we work with. I'll talk about the impact, the challenges, and the next step. So what is our vision as a CGS? What we visualize in the bigger picture? One is to be a world credit guarantor for the growth of MSMEs. This time we are working with some consultant, and they are really very keen on this. You are actually working on some of these things just to make them, to improve them. The mission is to enhance MSMEs' access to finance through innovations and, very important, partnerships, in provision of credit guarantee scheme. We have some objectives there. To mention in brief, improve and stimulate the economy, and we do this by ensuring there is additional lending to MSMEs. And that will come out very clear in this presentation. Also to create a conducive environment, very, very important within the business world, and promote partnership between the government, financial intermediaries, also with the development partners as well. Finally, is to facilitate the financing of MSMEs, increasing investment opportunities for them, and ensuring that they are able to get credit to advance their businesses. So where are we? From the time we started in December 2020 to now, 31st of May, that's the last report that we have. So where are we? In terms of establishment, how does this scheme operate? We have what we call the eligibility criteria. Who is eligible? I know we have some MSMEs here. So who is eligible? One, you have to be registered as a business, tax compliant. You also have to have a valid business permit. You have to be credit worthy, borrowing for purpose of business. In terms of the product, is risk sharing of 50-50, subject to maximum exposure of 25%. And then the maximum loan is 5 million, and the tenor is 36 months. We have 7 participating banks. In this pilot, we've been running a pilot phase, and we've worked together with these 7 participating banks. And now we are doing a review to see where are we, so that even as we plan to onboard more other financial institutions, we have been able to test the system quite substantially. So we have the 7 that we are working with. In terms of administration, the scheme is running within Treasury. It's managed by a unit in Treasury, and we have a steering committee that is in charge of that. How do you access the product? This is very important for MSMEs. One, you need to visit a PFI, and a PFI here is the banks that we are working with. Then they will evaluate you based on they have their own procedures, because as we are doing what we call a portfolio guarantee. So the person who knows the MSME here, in this case, is the bank. So we are working between us and the bank. The bank has your story. They will evaluate you based on the criteria that I've mentioned, including their own policies, their own lending policies. Then if the MSME qualifies, they will register the MSME and then start managing that portfolio. And they will be sending reports to us so that we can know how you are faring. So as per 31st May 2023, this is how the results are. One, we have been able to give, through the PFIs, 3,741 loans, amounting to 5.64 billion. Already, we are in 46 counties through the PFIs. Only 1 county remaining. I don't know if there is anybody here from Mandera. Yeah, only Mandera remaining. And we have a bank that is really committed to get us to Mandera. We have covered 12 sectors. and then 20% of the credit has been taken by MSMEs owned by women, youth, and PWDs. In terms of distribution, per the MSME size, a big portion, 58%, goes to small enterprises, 27% to micro, and then the rest to the medium enterprises. Loan sizes ranges from 10,000 to 5,000. This is what already has been issued out. We have had an MSME was gotten a loan of 10,000, and we have gone all the way to 5 million through the PFIs. But the average loan size that has been issued so far is 1.49 million. The interest rate, this again is managed by the existing policies within the banking sector. The range is between 8.25 to 21%. Yeah, and the average interest rate is 12%. Loan tenure, the average is 23% from all the loans that have been issued, but it ranges from 1 to 36%. Economic sector, trade leads there with 75%. Yeah, and then all the others follow. There is a story behind the trade. I'll mention that briefly. In terms of counties, 1,813 from Nairobi. So Nairobi has a bigger chunk on these loans for many other reasons, including some statistics from KNBS, which I'll just point again briefly. 1,267 facilities have been fully repaid, and this is very encouraging for us, which means we have 370 million to reallocate, yeah, which has been released from the guarantee now that can be issued out. CGS, I think in terms of the audit report, the last report, 2021-2022, we've given an unqualified opinion. This is very important for us because we are still on the pilot stage, so we really want to know how are we performing, and this really informed a lot of other things that we are already initiating to streamline the scheme. What is the impact? One, in terms of the new MSMEs that are receiving business credit, we have 76% who have received, or 76% of the enterprises had not received loan from the PFIs before. You remember we talked about the enterprises being treated as very risky among many other factors. So from our report, 76% of them had not received a loan before. And probably this also, maybe they would have visited or many other reasons. But I think the banks also have the confidence to give to MSMEs because of the credit, because of the guarantee from the government. Again, in terms of leverage, yeah, so we see that we've given out 5.6 billion to MSMEs against the committed seed capital of government. Government has put in a seed capital in terms of guarantee of 2.71 million. And from this 2.71 billion, the banks have been able to lend 5.64 billion. That's a leverage of 2.08. Quite encouraging. But our target is to get to 10. The leverage from 2.8 all the way to 10. County, I've mentioned the county, that we've in 46 counties, only one that is remaining. How about in terms of jobs creation? Very important for government and for all of us. The beneficiaries, the MSMEs, a total of 20, they have created a total of 23,000, over 23,000 jobs. This is counting the employees that they have. Some of the businesses are new, and some of them have even been able to get more employees to work for them. For the household, we are talking about, if we take maybe a household has 4 members, we are talking about over 92,000 households. Some of the challenges that we are experiencing as a credit guarantee in Treasury, one is the issue of sustainability. At the moment, we are not charging any guarantee fee from the banks. So we are really thinking about how do we sustain this CGS product. So that's one of the issues that we are looking at as among the challenges. Informality of MSMEs, quite a number of them are not registered. I think that also came up during the conversation here. You have someone who is running, selling some eggs or just doing a very simple business. They don't have a permit, they don't have tax compliance. So how do you treat that particular MSMEs? That's a conversation we are having amongst ourselves and also with the PFIs to see how we can address that. Definition of MSMEs, again, that's also another issue that we are working on as a challenge, because we are following what has been defined, especially with the CBK, including the sector classification. In terms of, we have new MSMEs coming up with some, for example, education or any other sector that is not included in the classification. So that's also another challenge that we are also working with the CBK. In terms of supervision, again, being the pilot phase, we're still trying to streamline, especially on the issues of automation and also the digital world, because working with the banks, already some of them are already out there, so trying to align the systems. But the big thing here is the moral hazard. Yeah, the moral hazard, because the MSME shouldn't know that there is a guarantee behind the loan. That's really important for us. This is also to safeguard and to ensure that they are also able to undertake the obligation to be able to pay back the money. So there's a potential of reckless lending, and this is not only MSMEs, but you're also talking about the PFIs, with the intention not to pay, since this is government money. A very important issue that has also, in a way, contributed to how much should we talk about this? How much sensitization should we do out there? Yeah, but we've been able to work around that with the PFIs. What are the necessary actions? One is the establishment of the CGS as an independent legal entity. In this area, we received a lot of support from Kim, just to ensure that we streamline, because in this case, we have to work on the legal frameworks. We have to work on work with other partners to ensure that we are well aligned. So we've received a lot of support on this, and this is important for the sustainability of the entity, because these are two environments. We have the banks that are moving sometimes very fast. We have the government that has its own procedures and processes that must be adhered. So what is the middle ground? Yeah, and that has been one of the issues that necessitate the thinking behind having an independent legal entity to manage this product. The second necessary action is to review credit guarantee policy design and legal framework. This is also ongoing work. We're also working with government entities, especially on the issues of eligibility and the issue of business registration, the KRA, among other partners. Integrating with other systems, especially the banks and also the business registration and any other partner that is key for us to manage the scheme. It's another action that we're already undertaking. Then the definition of the sector classification, which is an ongoing work. Already, what are we doing, especially with KIM? What are we doing with KIM at the moment? One is a stock take and review of the current scheme. This is very, very important, because we want to know and understand our story. Yeah, understand our story, what are the challenges, what are the lessons, and what is the level of our impact. So Kim is very instrumental in this, giving us support to be able to document this, take stock, review of the current scheme, and then just to be able to get some insight in terms of opportunities and also other threats that we need to watch out for. Are we together so far? Okay. So maybe if you are the tallest in your table, can you raise your hand? The tallest person on the table. Some are still trying to figure out who is the tallest here. Okay. How about the shortest person? Okay. Now the last one will be the best one. If you wear the shoe, the number, if your number is the biggest in that table, can you raise your hand? Yeah. So the other support we are receiving from Kim is the development of a 5-year strategy. Since the establishment of the scheme in 2020, we have been working within the strategy of the National Treasury, but we feel we need to amplify some of the things as much as we are still anchored on the National Treasury. But as a scheme, there are unique aspects that needs to come out within the unit that are also amplified at the National Treasury level. So Kim is supporting us. We have a dedicated expert who is an expert in the issues of a guarantee that's guiding this process so that we are able to have long-term implementation strategies of the scheme and also to guide the review of CGS structure. And very important, again, is to leverage. How do we leverage on technology in delivery of credit guarantee? So the strategy as we are working on it, these are some of the issues that are coming out very important or very clear. The other area that we are having some support from Kim is also the review of credit guarantee policy, design, and legal framework. USAID, and we're talking about Kim, in terms of collaboration, offered technical assistance. You are a dedicated person, and I think this is really important. And I think we should give them a clap. Yeah, because we are dealing with PFIs, we are dealing with the banking industry. We need someone who will work with us, someone who has an understanding what happens in the banking sector. So they've been very, very instrumental to guide us in terms of that process. Capacity building, yeah, because it's very important to enhance the capacity of PFIs. One of the issues that we have been dealing with is it has been a learning process from Treasury and a learning process also from the PFIs. The processes are new, so they're trying to figure out, as much as we have clear operational procedures, they're trying to also learn through the process. So capacity building has been very important, and they've been able to receive support from Kim to train PFIs in Mombasa, Kisumu, Nakuru, and also the MSMEs, just to be able to build the capacity. For MSMEs, in most cases, we work with the PFIs because we are working behind the curtains. Yeah, we're not getting to them directly. So that's very important. Been able to also to receive support in terms of equipment and also in terms of conferencing facilities, including also IC materials and many other things from Kim. So in a nutshell, this is the story of Treasury. This is the success story of Treasury. And this story could not be complete without Kim working together with us. And I complete by saying this: the true innovation of our current time are those who will master how to collaborate. They will scale to the heights that they cannot be able to achieve on their own. Thank you so much.